Have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard of this name? This woman. This is the most powerful black woman in America right now. Her name is Kimberlé Williams Crenshaw. Have you ever heard of that? Ever heard?
Yeah, I actually did. I was gonna do a video about her and I didn't.
That black woman is one of the most intelligent, and she's the most powerful black woman in America right now. Kimberlé Williams Crenshaw. She developed the term that black feminists and white feminists use called intersectionality. She coined it. She went to Harvard. She went to UCLA. She has a justice degree. She has a PhD. This woman worked for 3 senators. This black woman is arguably the queen of black America. Arguably.
Wait, what? So if she worked for some senators, what's her power?
What's her power? This black woman, Kimberlé Williams Crenshaw, Kimberlé Williams Crenshaw is the most powerful black woman in America. She put together a policy that the United States government uses in law to control us, called the African American Foreign Policy. Look it up. She developed it in a think tank, other white men, but she developed the concept, and they used it into law. Everything I'm saying is straight facts. I'm telling you all facts. Kimberlé Williams Crenshaw, the African American of Foreign Policy.
Wait, was you in the think tank with them? I say, was you in the think tank with them? Were you in the think tank with them?
No, I wasn't in the think tank. No, I wasn't in the think tank. No, of course not, Chad. You trying to be funny. That's hilarious. No, her name is Kimberlé Williams Crenshaw.
But listen, though, bro, what I'm saying is you just gave benefit to the same old story, which is a woman, a black woman, or a black person, for that matter, came up with an idea amongst a group of white people. And see, I don't just take that.
She came up with the concept in a think tank, and I'm gonna tell you where it was at. Hold on. In think tanks, they put it into legislation. They use this shit in courts right now. Matter of fact, this is how powerful this woman is. Matter of fact, look, Oprah funds her. Gail and Oprah follow her lead. This woman, Kimberlé Williams Crenshaw, she developed the Constitution for South Africa. This one black woman, Kimberlé Williams Crenshaw.
Bro, I'm still trying to figure out the power, bro. We're like when you say she's the most powerful black woman in America, like you still haven't really showed me the power though.
Because the African American Foreign Policy, they infuse that into law. These are laws that we got to abide by, that she enacted, she put down. This is her concept. You see?
So I mean, you don't see that as a way to just simply blame black women for the flaws and downfalls.
She's one black woman. I'm not blaming black women. She's one. I'm just saying she's a feminist.
You call her a queen, bro.
She, unelected queen, because we gotta dance to her tune, bro. We get locked up based on the African American foreign policy.
No, bro, we was getting locked up long before that, bro. Like I don't know how they attaching her name to something and you giving her credit for it, fam.
Man, Taz, look her up, Taz. This woman is serious. Taz, Bill Cosby is locked. Bill Cosby is locked because of this woman. They went at Kobe because of this woman. This woman coined intersectionality. Intersectionality is the biggest term in feminist jargon right now. Intersectionality. And they use that shit in law.
So Bill Cosby didn't put himself in that position, bro?
Bill Cosby did whatever he did. Cosby did whatever he did. I'm not going to debate that.
So how can that have anything to do with her? She like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, when you say You know, the two
Because
don't
those,
correlate, fam.
it does, brother. If anytime a woman is writing policy that they put in law, that makes her super powerful. That's a queen. That's by definition, that's a queen, bro. She developed. Let me
So
say this.
so if she's sitting in a think tank full of white men and white men come up with ideas to how to damage
No,
our
she
community,
came up with them.
and
She came up with them.
bro, I don't listen, man. I don't believe that, bro. Listen, if
You gotta
a
look it up.
white think tank happens and you tell me that a black person came up with the idea out of a white think tank, I'm gonna think that's bullshit, man.
No, no.
I'm
She
not a white think tank can't come up
developed.
with ideas.
She developed,
Say what, bro?
brother. She developed policy, not white men. He did. White
Who?
men in think tanks put it into law, into legislation. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So what I'm asking you though is, are you sure that white men didn't just attach her name to it to put it into legislation and put credit for it on her so you can blame black women like you're doing right now?
I'm not blaming black women. This woman, this black woman is nefarious. She's one black woman. She's nefarious. And no, white men did not develop that shit and attach her
Right.
name.
Right. But
She
see,
did.
but bro, okay, bro, but how do you know that? Because historically, that's how this has worked. Things that happen in our community, they use a black face to put on it right before they implement it to make it sound like we wanted it.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you here's pure evidence. Her anonymity, the fact that nobody knew about her. Not too many people knew. I just found out about her 2 years ago, and I've been studying it onto these feminist broads for years. Nobody, her anonymity right there. That's where her power comes from. Her anonymity, because nobody knew.
Uh,
The brain. She's the brain. Oprah's the finance, and Gail is the mouthpiece, the propaganda mouthpiece. Right now. And this pushback against her. But this broad is powerful, bro. This broad is powerful. This ain't no. This is real
so what,
shit. This is.
so, so what would so what would you say the ultimate goal of these three women are then? What are they trying
I
to
can tell you. I can tell you.
implement in the
It's
country?
intersectionality. It's about power. See, when you study intersectionality, which she coined, this is how it goes. It's a hierarchy, and in this society, it's race first, then it's gender. This is a racist society, and then it's gender. What's a hierarchy? It's the white male, heterosexual white male at the top. Under him, heterosexual black, heterosexual white female. Under her, uh, the bisexual white male. Under him, the bisexual white female. Under that, the heterosexual black male. It's a hierarchy. And at the bottom is the lesbian black female. So in order for her to get power, she has to supplant everybody above her because she has nothing equal or in common with the top of the hierarchy, which is the heterosexual white male. That's what intersectionality is about. That's why she coined it. She got this shit infused into the law without writing it down, infused into propaganda, infused into media. This shit is real, Taz. This shit is real.
Right, but my thing is, it's just bad that you would apply all of this to her and make it a thing that she did when this is something that's already been in play. I mean, I'm listening to you. This is nothing different than what Harvey Milk was doing in San Francisco in the 70s. I'm trying to figure out how this is applied to a black woman today when it's, these things, you call it intersectionality, whatever you want to call it, this still isn't a new concept.
I've never heard of
I mean, this is some
intersectionality.
Europeans that you were taught earlier.
Huh?
I mean, you can apply it. I mean, this is what I was telling you earlier about our language, man. You can just add a word to it whenever you want to. But that doesn't change that this concept has been around long before her.
The intersectionality concept or the power concept. Power, we know about the power dynamic, But the intersectionality, that dynamic, she created that.
No, the dynamic has always been there.
Yeah, the dynamic's been there. She coined it. She coined the concept. She
She gave you a word for something that was already existing.
She contextualized it, and then she took it, contextualized it, and she has it into social programming. Now it's into social. It's a part of society now. Now because it's a.
When wasn't it? But when wasn't it?
It wasn't like that before. It wasn't like that before intersectionality didn't get introduced to the 70s. It was never like that. Black women were never focused on power by supplanting black men prior to white feminism and them adopting that.
I'm focused on that right now. Black men aren't in power to be supplanted. What are you talking about?
Black women.
Black men aren't in a position to be supplanted from what?
Black women, by and large, were not focused on supplanting black men. And put like this, black women.
I'm asking what to supplant them from what? Niggas don't run shit.
Let me ask you a question, Taz. Can you honestly say that in our grandmother's generation, there were a lot of black women running around saying, "I don't need a man"?
Well, obviously their grandmothers was teaching them that, wasn't they? That lesson came from the grandmother. Yes. That lesson came from the grandmothers who had their children raised by themselves because they saw men walking out. So they didn't pass down a pathology, they passed down a reality. These niggas ain't gonna take care of their kids by no guarantee. These niggas ain't got no integrity. If you have a baby, you might have to take care of it on your own. I don't know why we would lie about that shit.
No, what I'm saying, my grandmother never said that shit. That shit started with late baby boomers and Generation X.
Which was prior to that, 70s, right?
Before that, before feminism seeded, black women held other black women or females responsible. They told them to not become single mothers. They told them to get married. They had their fathers or their uncles vetting men. If you was a single mother in the black community in the 70s, they sent your ass down south.
So who's the gatekeeper of marriage?
Men.
Right. So if ain't nobody getting married, whose fault is that?
Both of ours.
Ah, come on, fam.
If a man ain't asking, black men should not be laying down with women they not trying to marry. I'm not gonna argue that. That'd be stupid. I ain't gonna argue that.
I mean, I'm just saying I don't get the ideology here, man. Like, because again, like I say, man, if we just deal with it for what it is, we cannot look past the fact that men don't have to have sex with these women, which leads you into a baby. You don't have a baby without having sex. So, you know, a lot of this, like I said, we get to a blame game and start talking about feminism and this stuff together. But I feel like if we see a lot of abandoned children, we talk about single mothers and blah, 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 you should expect women to band together and work together because it's clear they don't have the support of men. To me, it don't have to be the worst thing ever. It's something you fix by not doing the things you're doing now and keeping this separate part of the community where we act like men ain't making babies they don't want to take care of. You know what I'm saying? Like you said those aren't men, those are males. I get where you're coming from, but like I said, no, those are men though. You know what I'm saying? They just get the benefit of not having to get put on blast.
I don't make no excuses for them dusty Negroes. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying we gotta look. It's equal. It's equal. Black women gotta be more responsible, more sexually disciplined. And if you're a single mother in 2020, it's your fault because you opened your legs for a man who you didn't vet and you didn't have a ring. I tell that to my sister. Both my sisters are single mothers, Taz. No bullshit. I ain't even lying. Real talk. One of my sisters, I told my sisters that years ago. That's your fault.
I mean, like I say, man, again, I have to look at it from both sides though. 'Cause like I say, it's not even being an antagonist or just, wanting to argue now. It's just like but that's no excuse to not raise your children. That's no excuse to not be there. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? Having a baby by somebody on her end, yeah, I mean, I guess that's an L for her. But as a man, I'm not able to even understand why she would do that. I'm not a woman and I can't think like one. I know men don't have to have children that would leave her in that situation. I know if you don't have a baby by her, she's not in that situation and you aren't either. That's, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand how women always lead the conversation, but because even there, you just went directly to women.
If a woman is a single mother, man, that's her fault.
but not.
I mean, I'm not trying to antagonize my sisters. I love black women. Man, look, that's their fault. Now, if she was a wife and she's divorced and she's not, that's a different story.
So men don't switch up, men don't lie, men don't.
They do. We do. Males do, but black women are smart as hell. They got intuition. They know when Negroes ain't shit. They know. They know. They just try to tell us that they don't know. They know.
I mean, I agree. I don't even disagree with that. But the thing is, if we base this on their logic, from what we know from the outside, what we determined is that women's logic comes based on emotion. Yep. And what that means, you can always talk her down, right? You can always lower that wall, right? So she doesn't have she's not really the gatekeeper of shit. And to be honest, if we use our actual logic that we always use, you know what I'm saying? Women will succumb to the aura of a man.
Right, a masculine man. So are you saying that a lot of black males are out here manipulating black women into the sex?
Yes, absolutely.
I have to disagree, Chad. Man, come on, y'all.
Oh yeah, I mean, why would we lie? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, you act like niggas running around telling women I got 4 baby mamas and I got 6 women on the side, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, like, niggas manipulate, bro. I mean, are you serious, bro? Like, bro, niggas are sitting around right now scheming up on how to get some women, bro. Like, and by any means necessary.
But not manipulation though. Like, okay, look, I'll say this. Prior to maybe the internet era or the social media era, there's a lot of males running around, being deceptive about their families or how many kids they got. That's why black females got to vet them. But black males are not black men. We're not running around here just talking black women out of their drawers. They want to engage in sexual intercourse. We're hypersexual as a people. That's one of our main problems.
We're not, man. Stop saying that savage ass shit, bro. We're not, bro. Like for real, bro. Like, I got 2 kids. I got the 2 kids I wanted, bro. I've never been hypersexual. I know some hypersexual dudes, and to be honest, they're outliers, bro. Like, we're not hypersexual, bro.
I'm not saying it like no. I ain't saying it like from a savage type of perspective. I'm saying that. Come on, Taz. Our people. Come on now. We breed. Come on, we're breeders, bro. We breed. We have a lot of sex.
We're breeders. No, that's what I'm saying. That's not necessarily true. You just gave data earlier that spoke against that.
We have a lot of sex, brother, and our enemy is using it against us.
But you used data earlier that went against this notion of being breeders. That you used data earlier that said we don't have children until we start getting our late 30s. That's not being a breeder.
Okay, well, I meant to say this. We produce more than any other race on this planet. We produce more offspring. That's why we outnumber everybody. Our enemy is using sex against us.
What do
And
you?
we are engaged in too much sex. We are engaged in too much sex. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said in the 80s, black people, men and women, shouldn't even be thinking about offspring until after 30. She put that in the ISIS paper. And that's 100% true.
Yeah, I disagree with that though. But nonetheless, what I'm saying is this: if we go by that thought process now, we won't even be here. Because again, I mean, that's one of the problems. You have a birth rate that's not going up. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've been stagnant
It's
for a
even.
while at the birth rate and growth. And
Now,
so how do we grow?
our birth rate has always been good. It's 1-to-1. It's even. It's 1-to-1. That's what.
Right, but that's not growth. That's what I'm saying. We not okay. So we need, if we want numbers, and what we're telling ourselves is that we doing too much, or we're breeders. If we're breeders, we wouldn't be 1-to-1. You know what I'm
We're
saying?
doing too much. We're doing too much because we're not being disciplined. This right, put it like this: we're doing too much because black males are having offspring all over the place and not protecting and providing for them. Black women, not all, black females are irresponsibly allowing these black males to impregnate them, knowing majority of the time they know that these Negroes ain't SHIT. Majority of the time.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I just, I think a lot of times niggas will talk their way into. Like I say, I don't think that the argument about, like, because I think a lot of it is superficial. You know what I'm saying? But we live in an over sexualized society. So if you got hypersexual men and hypersexual women, which I don't disagree that they exist, but that's who you're talking about, just a small group. Because according to your data earlier, the minority would be these people out having babies, right? That's the minority.
I'm gonna be honest, and it's gonna sound a little biased, but actually, and I know y'all gonna come at me. Actually, it's the numbers more so lean towards the females being hypersexual, black female. 70-some% single motherhood rate. That's, come on now.
That's a single motherhood or hypersexuality.
Yeah, a lot of it. Lack of discipline, hypersexuality.
Doesn't that go against the 80-20
Nah, I don't go against the 80-20 rule.
rule though?
Nah, because 60% of black men don't have 21 to 35 don't have children. So these black women are targeting.
No, what we're talking about is 80% of black women dealing with 20% of black men.
But the 80
So that would mean we're all talking about a handful of men still.
The 80-20 rule is subjective for American women. It is not specific to black women. So it's not. So I ain't gonna say it's 80-20 in our community, but it's definitely it's a minority and a majority. I see it. A lot of damn near all the black women I know with children out of wedlock, they got a child with a black male who has multiple kids all over the place.
Okay, so wouldn't that be more of a problem that men are perpetuating?
But if he's one man and it's a bunch of different women, you see what I'm saying?
No.
That's the dynamic of the 80-20 rule. Just look at it at a large scale. Because those four, I'll give you an example. I know a woman, 4 kids, 3 different men, right? One of her first child, he got 5 kids, 5 different women. Now, if she wasn't number 5, you see what I'm saying? If 5 women if he didn't impregnate 5 women, if they didn't decide to have his child after conception, then the 80-20 rule wouldn't apply.
So we're not going to apply this to the person with the track record. We'll apply it to the person who, for lack of a better term, is a victim of the track record. Because the person, because to me, what you just laid out was a person with 5 baby mamas And now on the fifth one, we're again going into this assuming that he was like, yeah, by the way, I got 4 baby mamas and 4 kids I don't take care of. Like, no, dog, I don't think it works, Now, on the flip side, I think there are occasions when it's known like that. And it is okay if the person is going to take care of their kids. It wouldn't even be a question of how many kids they got if they take care of them. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even be at play. So, you know what I'm saying? If you got 4 kids and she had the 5th one, but he take care of all 5 of them, that shouldn't be on the table for this discussion.
It shouldn't, but that's real rare. That's rare. In the information age tag, what I see now, most of these women know. They know these males got different kids all over the place. They know. It's not hard to find out. They investigators. They find that shit out. They know. They will tell you they know.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that they don't know. My thing is, a lot of times when these things happen, though, we forget the term used to be step up. You know what I'm saying? There's a responsibility. Once you get somebody pregnant, all of the other stuff's supposed to go out the window. The responsibility ideology was lost, where you have to step up to take care of your child. Once it became, it's feminism's fault, it's black women's fault, she doing lay down and I ain't tell her to have my baby and blah. You know what I'm saying? Black men were given outs to buck their responsibilities.
They ain't got no outs. Court system holding responsible. They ain't got no outs. Let me ask you a question. So what are some of your ideas of some solutions? Because I got some ideas. What's some of your ideas?
A solution to what?
The main what we're talking. What are some of the solutions for the black males who are quote unquote deadbeats? What are some solutions to eradicate it or at least mitigate it?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, the solution to being a deadbeat is to take care of your kids. Problem solved.
No, but we already got them though. That's already a problem. We moving forward. What's some of the solutions in the in the FBA community? What's some solutions moving forward to deal with that behavior and to at least mitigate it?
For a nigga that's not taking care of his kids.
So that we don't produce no more Negroes that don't take care of their kids. Let me say it like that.
Okay, so the solution is to raise your children to not abandon their children. We getting kind of lost on an easy understanding here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would think that we would know to raise our children to be the adults we want them to be.
Okay, outside of our own children, though, Taz, we talk because you be one. I've been following you for a while, Taz. You've been B1 for a while. You know what I'm saying? You're B1, so absolutely. So for our community, aside from our kids, our community, what are some solutions to mitigate this behavior from these males? Not the ones that are already engaged in.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. There's no way to mitigate anything from our position. We deal with a lot of this from a reactionary position because we're not ahead of it already. That's why it is imperative to get in people's ear and whatnot. I don't think outside of that though you have a lot of options because we live in a society where you can't tell nobody shit, bro. Like, you got to be careful even trying to tell somebody something that's right or wrong because they flip out on you about that. You know what I mean? It almost just becomes better to if you just trying to get a message out, you get it out through these means. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to more people on here than you can in your streets and neighborhood and whatnot. But again, the problem is the people that you do have access to and whatnot, a lot of them just live in life. And so listen, man, I done dealt with so many niggas in the hood on living right and doing real shit and good shit. But the fact of the matter is real life gets in the way, bro. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I think people have to just be ready for downfalls, be ready for pitfalls, know how to deal with them and navigate through them when they come. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, there is no way to mitigate it. Something that we can't see. Every day is a invisible storm, bro. And you just, you know what I'm saying, you got to figure out the ways to mitigate. Some going to be easier to mitigate than others. You know, but I don't think there's a blanket way or a solution before the storm arrives. Because again, a lot of these quote unquote storms are things that just everyday life, but you can't deal with it before it happens, you know. It's something that got to happen first. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, like, when it comes to having babies and shit like that, man, niggas out here making a choice to do that, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, niggas making a choice to have babies and shit like that. Like, that ain't, to me, that, you know, that ain't even indicative of what's going on in the community. Because the dudes that's sitting around chasing women, bruh, that's what they want to do. They could care less about what's going on in the community. They don't care nothing about no child support. They ain't thinking about none of that until it's too late.
I know.
That's the problem.
I know. I know Negroes like that. I think I agree with you, but I think these discussions, especially online, because it's the most effective way at this point, is helping. I know some. I know I can see it helping. I can see it helping. I have changed a lot of my behavior based on some information that I've gotten from scholars or Black or B1 uh, people online. So the conversation rules the nation. It got to keep happening. I'm never going to stray away from the fact that we got to shame dysfunctional Black behavior from males and females. Women
Well,
got to get it. Black women.
but do we agree that it don't work? I mean, because I agree with shaming it. I mean, like I said, I shame you all day, but I have to leave that knowing it was ineffective towards an overall goal of fixing something. Shaming does not work.
I can't say it don't because I've seen it personally work. I know women who have not proceeded with another offspring until marriage because they didn't want to be shamed uh, as a single mother and be called a statistic. I've seen it in my own family.
Okay, so I don't disagree with that happening, but I mean, again, is that effective if we have such a high single mother birth rate? Is that effective? Because again, that's a point you used earlier about the high single mother birth rate. But I mean, like I said, single mothers have been shamed for a long time.
Not really. Not really. We've been encouraging that shit in our community. It ain't been shamed. It just started getting shamed.
I disagree. I think pop may keep your head up for that very reason, that it was always the shaming. I think if you even take the lyrics of that song, I know they like to beat you down a lot when you come around the block, niggas clown a lot. That's indicative of that behavior already being there.
Yeah, that was Park and that was in the 90s. But then there's always the flip side. The flip side, single motherhood was damn near celebrated, especially after Park. I can that independent woman shit. It's all in the media. It was damn near celebrated in our community. We can't deny that. It's not a surprise that a lot of our women in the I'm a millennial. I'm 36. I'm a millennial. A lot of the women in my generation all became pregnant around the same time.
Right. Okay. And what's the point?
And they did not get married. They were not even seeking marriage. They were just wanting to have a child.
Okay. What's wrong with that? I mean, because I don't see nothing wrong with having children, bro. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
I do. If you can't protect and provide. If it's out of marriage, I have a problem with it. If you ain't with a responsible male, I have a problem with it. Yeah, I got a problem.
Okay, so but this goes back to so I think I get it. So you're blaming feminism then for those women's desire to have a child regardless if the man is there or not. You blame feminism for that?
Yeah, the venomous ideology of feminism that played a huge role. That's damn near 90% of the role. That ideology, because feminism is ass backwards for Black women. Matter of fact, feminism is warfare against Black women.
So you don't think that the abandonment issues played a huge part in how Black women started operating?
No. because black women weren't facing a 70% abandonment issue prior to them adopting feminism.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true, bro. We reviewed multiple documentaries on the subject matter, and all indicators point to this problem being prevalent in the 60s, bro, 50s, 40s. That men were able to just have babies and abandon them, and there was no child support system that documented them doing it. And so a lot of people acknowledged that they were doing it.
Let me ask you a question, Taz. Was the white women who started feminism as a term and then an ideology that they put into society, were they white supremacists?
When are you talking about? Are you talking about initially?
The major ones, the major players. Susan B. Anthony. I can name more. Margaret Sanger.
That era, yes. That era, yes. Absolutely. Fuck yeah. That is the Klan era. That is the white supremacy era. That's what I'm saying. But understand you just made my point again, though. All of feminism was wrapped up in race pride. Feminism was about race pride. That's why the Black Panthers pushed feminism. That's why the UNIA pushed feminism. Race pride was rooted in feminism. That's why the Ku Klux Klan created their own division for women. And Margaret Sanger, Susan B. Sure, but you got to remember,
you have to show me some proof that the Black Panther Party pushed feminism. I have no. You got to show me that.
I just did.
Feminism rode the coattails of the civil rights movement, and it literally created dissension between the black man and woman.
Okay, so I know that's been given to you as a talking point, but let me tell you how it didn't ride the coattails.
That's a fact, bro. My aunts got bell hooks, Alice Walker, all these dumbass books and all that shit. And one of them, I ain't gonna be too personal, but one of them are a lesbian. One of them are a lesbian. Huh?
You give too much credence to what was written in a book. Just because somebody reads a book does not mean they're executing the lifestyle of what the book says or what the person was saying. Maybe they just read the book for entertainment. The fact of the matter is,
they didn't read it for entertainment. They acted it out. They acted it out.
The civil rights movement. When would you say